Hey everyone, this is Kin-Tae. Welcome back to my channel. I pray that everyone is doing well. So today I'm going to share a portion of a part of my book. It happened when I was around 9 years old. We had just moved from Los Angeles, my mother, my brother, and myself, back to Monrovia, and we had to stay with a couple that had 4 sons. The oldest one, he didn't live in the house, but the second oldest did, and he was about 8 or 9 years older than my brother and I. And he would play with us, and he was really cool and everything. I'm trying to make this video short. This one particular time he had said, "Kin-Tae, come with me in the backyard." And in their backyard, they had a lot of like scrap bikes and stuff like that. And so he was like, "Here, sit on the bike right quick." So I sit on the bike, and he pulls up one of those blue egg crates and sits in front of it. And so I'm holding onto the bike to keep the bike up because it didn't have any wheels or anything like that. It was just the frame, and I'm holding onto the frame and to the handlebars, and he takes his fingers, start tracing around the bike and all the frame and stuff like that. And I had on shorts at this time, and he took his fingers and went up the seat and started touching me, in my private area. So he was like, "Oh no, I'm just playing," because I jumped. And then he went on to do it again. He took his fingers, traced all around the seat, and then he went up and he clenched his fingers together, but it went through my underpants and my shorts, and it was onto the seat to where I couldn't move. So, and then he started following me again. Long story short, after that happened, we were still living there, and he was like, "Don't you say anything because you're gonna get in trouble," so on and so forth. And I didn't say anything. And then his mom, she would tell us to go take a nap. And so when we would take naps, we had to go in the boys' room to take naps, my brother and I. And there was mattresses and blankets and stuff like that were on the floor. And when I would lay down and to take my nap or whatever, I would always try to bundle myself up real tight in the blankets. And he would find his way just to take his hands and he'd have his hands in my pants, and I would just have to lay there with my head covered and let him do what he wanted to do, because he was actually a really I would say mentally ill individual, because I guess I was like around 9 and he was like 7 or 8 years older than, maybe 8 or 9 years older than my brother and I. And he would do these things to me like on a regular. And then he would, touch my chest and stuff like that. He would try to kiss me in my mouth and things like that. And I never told anyone. But when his mother passed away a few years ago, he ended up reaching out to me. He got my information off Facebook, and he was like, "Hey cousin, this, that, and the other." And then I thought it was normal conversation that he was about to have, but then he started going into what he used to do to me as a kid, and told me that I used to tell him that I was his woman and things like that when I was just a little girl. So the reason I'm sharing this story is because that really it was damaging. Now mind you, things had happened to me prior, but that right there, that story, when he came, he tried to reach back out to me when we were grown. He tried to reach back out to me maybe about 4 years ago, and he was trying to just say the stuff that he was saying that was totally inappropriate. But the situation that happened is in my book, and like I said, I never told anyone about it up until I started journaling and stuff like that, and seeing a therapist, letting her know, the different things that I had dealt with and stuff like that. And but this is one of the stories I wanted to share, because I feel that when you've been victimized, and the predator actually tries to come back, and it's almost like the predators try to park you in that place that you were when you were a child, just to see how you're going to react or respond, or it was a very uncomfortable situation. But I ended up having to block him from all the social media and stuff like that, and from all my social media. And I just know that it was hard. It was something hard for me to get over, not just him doing that, but the multitude of people that has done that to me, and amongst other things. But I just know, with God's help, that it's easy. It's not easy. I'm sorry. It's not easy, even with God's help, to get over certain things. But being molested as a little child, and then you're constantly going from house to house, and these same behaviors are happening, then it's a sad situation. But at the end of the day, I know it's still all going to work together for my good, because I do believe that everything that I went through was for a purpose, and that purpose was to let other young women know that regardless of abandonment, molestation, self sabotaging, and things, all these different things that has happened, that you still can be an overcomer. You don't have to deal with it. So that's why the book is entitled, because it was necessary. It was necessary for me to share my story, to let other, like I said, other people know that you can make it, you can get through this with God's help. It's not always easy, but you do have to put a lot of work in.